So today we are going to discuss the stakeholder management and how the conflict can be resolved between the stakeholder and how a BA can effectively manage the stakeholder. So we'll go to the scenario based questions like how different scenario we are discussing here. So scenario 1, conflicting requirements between departments. So as we know, there will be multiple stakeholders from multiple departments while gathering the requirements. So different department is having different stakeholder and there is a conflicting of requirements between them. So the first scenario questions is you are working on a project where the marketing team wants to implement a feature that promotes a personalized customer experience. But the legal department is concerned about data privacy issues. How would you handle this conflict? Answer. As a BA, I would first organize a meeting with both the teams to understand the root of their concerns. For marketing, I would clarify the benefits of personalization, while for legal, I would focus on understanding their data privacy concerns. I would then facilitate a compromise by suggesting a solution where customers' data is anonymized to protect privacy while still allowing some level of personalization. My role would be to ensure that the both sides understand each other's perspective and find a middle ground that aligns with project goals and compliance requirements. Finally, I would document the agreed solution and ensure it is reflected in the project scope. Thank you. So the next scenario is disagreement over project priorities. So two key stakeholders, the product owner and the operation manager, have different priorities for a feature development. The product owner wants to focus on new customer acquisition feature, while the operation manager wants improvements in the backend system to reduce manual work. How would you resolve this? Answer. In this case, I would arrange a prioritizations workshop with both the stakeholder and use a data-driven approach to evaluate the impact on each request. For example, I might calculate the potential revenue from new customer features versus the cost saving from improving backend efficiency. I would also introduce frameworks like Moscow must have, should have, could have, and won't have, or weighted shortage job first to evaluate which initiatives should take priority based on business value and effort required. Once the decisions are made, I would ensure alignment by setting up regular check-ins with both stakeholders to track progress and make necessary adjustments. Scenario 3, stakeholder request a last minute change. Question is, midway through a project, a senior executive requests a major change that will significantly alter the project timeline and scope. How would you handle this situation? Answer. In this case, I would first gather details about the requested change, including its reasonable and impact on overall project objectives. I would conduct a quick impact analysis to understand how the change will affect the budget, time, and resource allocations. Next, I'll present this analysis to the project sponsor and key stakeholder to explain the trade offs involved, including potential delays and increased costs. I would also discuss alternatives such as phasing in the change in future releases or scaling it down. If the changes is critical to the business, I would work with the project team to rework on the project plan and communicate the new timelines and expectations to all the stakeholders. Scenario 4, different word vision of our project outcome. You are working on a project with a diverse set of stakeholders, including product managers, developers, and end user. They have different visions for outcomes of the project. How would you align them towards a common goal? So I would start by facilitating a vision alignment workshop where each stakeholder group can express their expectations and concerns. I would capture these inputs, identify areas of common grounds. Using this information, I'll create a unified project vision document or statement that incorporates the key objectives of each group while aligning with the overall business goals. I then ensure that the project scope and requirements reflect this shared vision and communicate it regularly through meetings and project updates to maintain alignment throughout the development process. The next scenario is that the stakeholder refuses to accept the solutions. Questions. You have gathered requirements from a different stakeholder or a group of stakeholders, but after developing a solution, one key stakeholder refuses to accept it, claiming it does not meet their needs. How would you address this? I would first seek to understand the stakeholder's specific concern and why they feel that the solution does not meet their needs. This might involve a follow-up meetings or a review sessions where the stakeholder explains their objectives or objections. Next, I would compare their concern against the original agreed upon requirements and determine if there was a misunderstanding or if their need has changed. If the stakeholder concerns are valid, I would work with the project team to explore potential adjustments, ensuring these changes align with the project scope and timelines. If the request cannot be accommodated within the current phase, I'd suggest incorporating their feedback in future releases or enhancements and document this in the project backlog. Thank you.